Okay, hi there. So I thought I might do something a bit different now for the first video here in this series that I'm doing on some model cars that I have and continue growing in my collection. So I thought I'd try to do a bit of a review on my latest acquisition of the XB Interceptor from Mad Max, the yellow XB that Max starts off with at the beginning, where he's pursuing the Knight Rider along with the Big Bopper and March Hare. So I thought I'd do a bit of a review on that because this has been out now, I think about a year or so, and I just finally I had to get my hands on it, so I contacted my cousin in Australia if he could hook me up, and I thought, I liked it so much, I thought, might as well do a bit of a review what I think about it. So here it is now in the Australian version box. Looks pretty good. It's so this is basically the XB from Greenlight, but it comes in this specific Australian, I think it's just specific to Australia box. I've seen a different version elsewhere, and it's just got the typical clear Greenlight window where you can see the car. Where here it's enclosed in this beautiful box with the Australian flag and all the specifications of the car at the back, the engine type, horsepower, and so forth. And you got images of the car itself, which is good. Not the model itself, not so much like just from the movie or a car that looks like it, but the actual car itself. So you know what you're getting. Okay, so let's take it out of the box now and see how it comes. Comes in this nice, well foam protected, you got your thick, typical foam. It's good, so for that way it's always good for transport, which for me was good because I had it imported from Australia. But as you can see, yeah, it's just so nicely covered. You got your, you got the Greenlight stickers wrapped around it, keep it in spot. I've already opened it up, so it's obviously, it's a bit loose. On the top here, you can see they've put storage for the police sirens. Okay, getting well protected, well looked after. Now when you take it out, the car comes covered in this clear film, semi-clear. And that's nice, it gives it nice, keeps it clean, keeps it nice, stops it from getting any kind of scratch. Very tight within the box, so you're not going to have much movement or risk of anything breaking, so that's pretty good. Like I said, it's got the film top and bottom, so that's always good to keep if you ever want to store the car itself, just to keep it there, keep it clean. It's always a good idea. Now, out of the box, car is impressive. It is as it is. What you see is what you get. Not bad at all. Looks pretty good. Pretty solid. But we're going to have a bit of a review on it, so let's see what we got. The yellow XB Interceptor. Now, let's do a review. This is everything you see now that comes with the box. So, like I mentioned, you got everything as you see. You got the certificate here. So it's got says MFP, first of the V8 Interceptors, which is pretty good. So that's one of the things where you can do, let's focus in there. DDA Collectibles is proud to present the 1974 XB Falcon. So that's good if you ever want to display, you could frame that. Now here we've got the Sirens go on top. And they're very well detailed, which is pretty good. They look the part as in the film as well. There's maybe a bit more detail could have gone into it, but again, it's fine. Now, it's a die-cast car, which is good. Solid metal. The wheels turn. Everything is pretty solid and such. The doors, luckily the front door opens.
Good. Come on.
Now again, it's got a bit of weight to it. I like that. Being die-cast, of course it would. Solid build. There are bits of plastic here and there. But for the most part, it's all just die-cast metal. Underneath, well, it's a bit lackluster because it's just one single mold underneath. Obviously there are other bits and pieces, but it's just basically, there's not much to it. So here it is as it is, presentable with everything open. Unfortunately, it's just the doors that open in this one. No bonnet, so you got no access to the engine whatsoever. Now that's the biggest disappointment. Neither do the back doors open. So neither does the boot. Got a bit of suspension work going on there. Now, like I mentioned before, here are the Sirens. They got no real attachments except holes that go into, pegs that go to holes already set in. But, surprisingly, they sit very well. So they don't shake off. They don't necessarily fall off as easy as it might look. You can press on them. They stand pretty well. But, however, if you put it the wrong way around, oddly enough, they don't sit at all. It's kind of interesting how it does that, because it can only go in one way. And luckily, it's the right way. So we've got it here now on the turntable, as you can see it, getting a good 360 look at the car. You got your GS front, You got your 8-spoke wheels. Something that's a bit off is that if you got BF Goodrich radials, where in the movie they were XT Renegade Nationals. So there's a difference right there on the spot. You got your L88 Corvette bonnet scoop, just like in the movie. So the details are all there. It's not bad at all, but there is missing one thing. It's missing the aerial antenna at the back on the boot. So that's one detail that's missing there. You got your details on the side, M. Rokitansky in the dark one. Now, the dark one they said was a character that was written out. I haven't really got much detail about that one there. So I'm not 100% sure about that one. I'll just leave it up to interpretation. But you got your siren on the top as well, along with the lights. And you got your roof spoiler. So yeah, that's it's plastic, so that's part of the plastic pieces I was talking about. And you got your Falcon style steering wheel. So it's not a GS or a GT steering wheel, it's just a standard Falcon. But the interior is pretty nice, not bad at all. You know, you got that classic XB cockpit style dashboard, which I always liked. And it also comes with the correct trim. The interior is pretty close to exactly how the film was. Now, also unfortunately, the details missing. The scoop on the bonnet does not have the beehive mesh, so that's a bit disappointing. Got your Interceptor in the back. You got the MFP 508 registration. You can notice a bit also, one of the things here, especially, that's kind of the issues with Greenlight. You're getting a bit more affordable product, but one thing you do notice is the lack in quality in certain aspects, and paint is especially one of them. So you can see, like, out of the box, this is like straight away you see, like, brand new as it is, it's got paint blemishes. It's just, I mean, it's not that bad, it's not that noticeable, like only 1 or 2 spots if you look for it. So it's not a big deal. It might be to anyone who wants it, like, to be the best, but then again, you know, it is how it is. But the only good thing I will say is that because in the movie the paint job was cheap as well, it kind of lends to that. It kind of lends to the whole idea of, like, I know, it wasn't good in the movie, so it doesn't have to be perfect on the model car itself. One of the biggest letdowns is we don't have any access to the 351 V8 engine. That's one of the big disappointments for me, where it's just, as detailed as it is, would have loved to have everything else open. The back doors, the boot, everything, especially the bonnet, so we can get a look at that engine. You got the MFP stickers on it. Everything looks pretty well detailed to get it as close as possible. Again, there are bits and pieces that work and don't. You know, you got your Tirana style flares just like in the movie. So they kind of work. So overall, the car, personally, I like. It's for anyone's collection. There, any like Mad Max enthusiast, I recommend you should have this car in their collection, especially if you've got the black XB Pursuit Special. They look great side by side together. So in terms of accuracy, it's not bad. I'll give it like about an 8 out of 10. The value, considering other Greenlight cars come with bonnets that open and all the doors and so forth and boots. So I have to give the value for this one about 6 out of 10. And it's a bit too expensive for what it is. So I reckon it should have been a bit cheaper. But because one of the issues here that I haven't seen many Greenlights is that only the front doors open. So I don't know why they skimmed on that. So for me, that kind of should have lowered the price in my opinion. That's something that should have lowered, but it has like the standard value of like the other Greenlight cars you'll get, like maybe the Eleanor or the Vanishing Point Challenger and so forth. In terms of quality, the metal is pretty solid, the plastic feels pretty solid, it doesn't feel cheap in your hands, doesn't feel like it's going to fall apart. So I'll give it a quality of 7 out of 10. Extras, not very much extras here, except like what you see is like the card and sirens that get attached to the top. So the extras, I'll just give it a 5 out of 10 because it is what it is. Availability, well, when I got this sent to me, it wasn't that easy to get at that point. So I had to have it imported. My cousin to hook me up. Shout out to my cousin John. Thanks for that. Appreciate it, brother. He was able to hook me up with this and get it from Australia and send it over to me. Since then, what I've seen basically is I think they've brought it to Europe. They're more available now. So that's a good thing, but you won't get in that box, in that beautiful Australian box with the Australian flag. You won't get that. You'll get your typical Greenlight with the clear window. So for availability, I'll give it 7 because it's still fairly new and still available, and now it's more international, so that's pretty good. Overall presentation, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I think it looks great. It's a good display piece. It's got a lot of the details, and it is, for what it is, it looks pretty good. It is, let's be honest, it is Greenlight, so we're not talking about A grade like Auto Art or Biante. But other than that, it's just well presented. The color scheme looks just like lifted from the movie. Until they give us a version that has like everything that opens, everything's as presentable as perfect, I recommend this one because, yeah, we might not get another one for who knows how long. So overall, I'd give this car about 7 out of 10 because it does look the part. They got a lot of things right, but again, it's just missing too much of the extra details. One of the biggest letdowns, we don't get to see the engine. But other than that, everything is as close as possible. You get the radio, you get everything as you see it. So, yeah, I would have to recommend it. Hope you guys enjoyed this review, and, yeah, happy hunting. Cheers.